In what ways does your media product use, develop, or challenge forms and conventions of real media products?
Okay.
Let's introduce our names.
I'm Smana.
I'm Marwa.
I'm Hannah.
I'm Dion.
And we're
Fourth Element Productions.
So
Samana, would you like to start?
Our media product uses lots of codes and conventions that we researched from coming of age films, such as mood swings, social groups, and interpersonal conflict with peers.
other ones are virginity, relationships, and home life. Do you want to read us some out of yours?
I started mine differently. Can you talk more about yours, please?
Okay.
Do you want to carry on? Just carry on.
And
Interrupt.
disorders in common teenagers, such as bipolar, depression, anorexia. The protagonist loses their innocence and gains knowledge about life and themselves in coming-of-age films.
Some of the obvious conventions would be the pharmacy and the medication that were used in the actual production with the props and everything. And there was the other conventions that we used were the therapy room and the
Medium close-ups.
medium close-ups and all the educational books that were shown as shots, padding shots within our production.
Yep.
And we used non-diegetic music to set the, how do you say, equilibrium.
Yeah.
And we had a maximum of 2 characters in the opening sequence, so the audience can mainly focus on the protagonist. Usually the protagonist is male, so we have a male protagonist, and there's a lot of establishing shots to set the location. The titling for the production company distribution is briefly at the start and doesn't take up a lot of time. It's quite depressing, the tone, and from the opening sequence I analysed, this is where I got it all from, but the protagonist at the end breaks the 4/4 and we use the same thing before I even analysed that.
Just like the protagonist in the genre that we're using, it's aimed at teens, adolescents, or young adults. It contains kind of controversial or explicit themes, which makes it unsuitable for younger children. There are kind of 2 types of coming-of-age films. There's young teenage films and like older teen movies. We kind of went for the younger teen movies as we're like we're all 16, 17 age, so
So anything above that.
Yeah, we
Young
wanted to
adults.
keep it around and we could relate to it as well, as we're all in
No
our
one has to
adolescent stage.
specifically have to have bipolar, but have to be related to the emotions of what the protagonist is feeling.
Yeah, well, where is that? I don't know. Yeah, so all teenagers can relate to some aspects of the film that we created. It could either be the feelings of the character, actions, or the background, really.
And the real media product that I analysed was, it's a kind of a funny story, and we used we were inspired by the scenes where he was riding his bike, and that could kind of that could connote a sort of journey to, not a physical journey but an emotional journey to his end of his goals. And so we integrated that into our production with our protagonist Lucas riding his bike to the therapist, but also an emotional journey to show his development in his overcoming his bipolar state.
Also, another convention we used was voiceover. I mean, I think in all of our opening sequences there was a voiceover.
Yeah.
From the ones we analysed.
Yeah.
And we just thought it could connote that the audience might feel as if they're in the mindset.
Dialogue and internal monologue.
Would be in the mindset of the protagonist, and which is important because they have to relate and feel connected to the protagonist. So knowing their inside thoughts is important.
Yeah.
The reason why we chose bipolar initially is because we all heard of the film Silver Linings Playbook, and found it a really moving film. Yeah, it's in the coming of age genre, but obviously the higher end of it. And we thought that we researched that there are some people our age that have this disorder, yet they've kind of like mainly put it towards the older people. So we wanted to kind of
Show
like,
that young
yeah.
people
Would
have
you
it too.
adapt it to our age, because bipolar is mainly focused in society on the older generation and not us.
I guess that's how we broke some of the conventions. I
Yeah.
don't really know how we developed it.
We used some of like the jump cuts in in the
Production.
the film
Oh, yeah.
Silver Linings Playbook. We also used like the creep and the pan away from the
Yeah.
We thought
character.
this is important because it reveals how the protagonist was feeling. The camera movement was important, which we picked up from Silver Linings.
Yes, especially the creep.
So
The
like
creep,
yeah,
it shows like uncertainty.
and
Yeah.
like handheld camera movements as well kind of created instability.
And then converting the creep and the handheld made it more emotional for
Yeah.
him, and it kind of linked his emotions with the actual camera and the creeping.
Yeah.
So how did we break the conventions?
I'm thinking.
Yeah. What did we say? Yeah, we said we broke it by using titling in our opening sequence.
Oh yes.
Oh,
That's
right, we did,
important.
yeah.
we did.
Yeah.
Because mainly productions like Silver Lining don't use titling in their opening sequence,
They do.
and for us we did use it.
We had to
Cool,
because
yeah.
of the requirements from
Yeah.
the exam.
Yeah.
people.
Yeah. What else? We kind of.
I don't know why I wrote this. We had to record the non-diegetic music ourselves
Mhm.
because we couldn't get.
Of
Well, we
couldn't
did
get the right.
We couldn't get the rights
Yeah.
to it. We got
It
in
was kind
contact
of too
with them.
expensive.
We could have got the rights if we were able to buy it, but because it was over a budget, we couldn't even consider buying it.
Yeah.
So we had to make up our own track and our own background music. But this kind of shows our own development in our technology-wise
Yeah,
and everything.
as well.
And
Yeah.
what software we use and how we expand on our own minds.
Yeah.
I guess, yeah.
It shows how you first had this idea and then it just developed
Yeah.
to another idea. Okay.
Any
Okay,
idea?
well, thank you
Okay.
for watching
Bye.
this thing.
Bye.
Yeah.